What's up, y'all? I hope all is well with you today. As you are steady along your journey, sometimes you are presented with the opportunity to take shortcuts so that you could get to your destination faster. But you're not always so quick to jump on some of those opportunities, and it may be for a plethora of reasons. But this really mesmerizes people. Like they can't believe it. They become so intrigued, they become inspired, and sometimes even confused. It's interesting how your long, winding, sometimes messy journey really captivates people. It's because having your type of endurance is very rare. We live in a world that is obsessed with shortcuts, fast food, instant downloads, or even overnight success stories. Most people in today's society, they want everything quick and easy. But fast success doesn't necessarily mean lasting success. There are some things that only time can build, and you aren't meant for anything that's temporary. God is building something in you that will last. And here's the thing about your relationship with God: the long route isn't really a detour. For you, it's the main route. And this is what mesmerizes people because it's just so countercultural. Think about it. When someone hears or they see that maybe you've been in a season of waiting, or maybe you have faced setback after setback, but you still trust God, it stops them in their tracks. It's not what they're used to hearing, it's not what they're used to seeing. It's not the 5 steps to your miracle that they would see on like Instagram or something. It's raw and it's real. You just go with your own flow. And it really mesmerizes people when you are taking the long route with God because it's actually very relatable. Again, life can be messy. There's ups, there's downs, all kind of unexpected things that can happen. So when you're taking your long route with God, many people are able to see themselves in your story. They see someone who's not perfect. They see someone who has struggled, someone who has been doubted, but they also see someone who keeps going. And it's incredibly relatable because you're not selling a fairy tale. You are showing that it's okay to be a work in progress. And in the world that's constantly telling us to have it all together, it's refreshing. You taking the long route with God has people mesmerized because it's a testament to faith. The long route requires faith, not no little bit of faith, that big, bold, unwavering faith. So when people see that you are trusting God through the unknown, you are trusting God through the delays, through the silence, it really blows their minds because they know keeping the faith isn't easy, it's very hard. It's not always glamorous, but some roads do take longer because they lead to a greater destination. In a culture that values shortcuts, but you still trust the process, that's very captivating. When people witness this type of faith in action, when they know the shortcut opportunities that you could have taken, it shocks them and it challenges them because it makes them ask themselves if they could do that, if they could have that type of faith. You probably thought about the shortcut opportunities that you could have taken, but you still chose your faith. You chose to believe in God's promises to you. And even though sometimes your decisions kind of confuse other people, later they wind up gaining a whole lot more respect for you because of the personal strength within you. You may be taking the path that is less traveled, but it is a special path that God paved just for you. Some people know that if it was them, they would have jumped on XYZ opportunity for the money or for the sake of speeding things up. They be putting themselves in your shoes, not knowing what XYZ opportunity would have came with, but you do know. And taking some of those opportunities would have had you feeling some kind of way. You would have felt like you were selling your soul. You didn't sell out. You didn't sell your soul for a quick buck. You kept your dignity intact. You kept your purity intact. But there's so many other people that just they don't have the mental capacity or the patience to wait on God. They would have signed the dotted line with the quickness, even if it's a bad deal. But this is one of the reasons why there's magic within your journey. Your journey makes other people reflect on their own doubts, their own fears, and their own desire for a deeper level of faith. Your journey is mesmerizing because it's inspiring. The thing about the long route is that eventually you begin to realize that it's not just about you. Your journey has the power to inspire other people in ways that you might not realize. When people see you persevering, they begin to remember that they can too. Your story becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that God is faithful even when the road is long. I've had some of you comment or even email me telling me that you've been watching some of my journey while getting through your own journey, and certain things that I've said gave you the strength to keep on going. I can't tell you how much that has humbled me, because it reminds me that my journey isn't just about me. It's about what God decides to do through me. And the same is true for you. Your long route with God isn't just for you, it's for everybody who's watching, even the doubters, as well as everyone who needs to know they're not alone. Even though the long route with God isn't always easy, what I've learned is that the long route is where transformation happens. It's where you grow, it's where you learn to trust. You discover who God really is, and that's worth every step. The long route is very important. In a world that's constantly rushing, the long route forces you to slow down sometimes. It forces you to be present, listen, reflect. And it is in that space that you find something priceless, an evolved relationship with God. When you take the long route, you're not just chasing an outcome, you're also building a relationship. And this is what people are really drawn to. They see the depth in your relationship with God, and it makes them want that for themselves. You shifted your perspective. Instead of seeing the long route as a delay, you started seeing it as an opportunity. And as soon as you changed the way you viewed your journey, that's when everything else changed too, in terms of how you approach it. The long route with God isn't just a journey, oftentimes, it's also a testimony. It's a living, breathing reminder that God is faithful, He is good, and He is worth the wait. And that's why people are mesmerized by it. So many people are all about instant gratification. So your long route with God is a radical act of faith. It's a declaration that you are not just chasing some outcome, you are actively chasing God. So if you are someone who is in the middle of taking the long route with God right now, I encourage you to keep on going. Your journey matters, your faith matters, and your story is very inspiring to other people. You were never meant to be on the same timeline as anyone else. Your story, your journey, it is uniquely yours. And it will be powerful because of it. But one day the waiting will end, and it will all be because you took the long route with God. To book your personal one on one session with me, that information will be down below in the description box of this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be back soon. Peace.